episode of the Made in New York podcast with internet crazy man.
Yeah, I like that.
You like that one? Princey, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about who you are and how you've come to be the personality that you are in the net.
Alright, what's up everyone? It's your boy Princey. I'm from Queens, New York City, born and raised.
Wait, hold on, we gotta stop. Where in Queens?
Astoria, Queens.
Nice. Are you still in Queens?
Born, raised, moved out of Queens, yeah.
Look at this.
Native
We got
York.
two Queens boys.
Oh,
born and raised. My parents still live in the same place in Rego Park.
Oh shit.
And I'm in Glendale now.
My parents still live in the same shit too.
Yeah.
Astoria, yeah.
I have not met another person who grew up here whose parents still live in the same house. That's fucking crazy. All right, I'm sorry. So,
No,
born and raised Queens. Go ahead.
Born and raised in Queens to a Pakistani and Filipino descent. And yeah, now I'm just in entertainment trying to just not give a shit and just live life.
So you said now you're in entertainment.
Yeah, now
What were you doing before this?
Okay, so before this, I studied chemical engineering, graduated with my chemical engineering degree, went into oil industry in chemical engineering, decided I didn't like that. Then I went to Accenture, it's like a tech consulting company, got laid off, then was trying to find myself, started a job at Viacom for MTV, had a 1-year contract, that shit ended, and then it goes back to doing what you enjoy doing, which is entertainment, which is videos.
So how did you begin to embody this personality? Like where did this first show its eyes or head? Like where did it pop out?
High school.
Yeah.
When I was crowned prom prince in high school.
Okay.
That's why my name is Princey.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so where did you go to high school?
Aviation high school.
Okay.
Queens.
Down in Sunnyside?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did 5 years there. I thought I was gonna become an aviation mechanic.
Okay.
So I took my 5th year in high school to get my second license. So
Okay.
I'm a certified aircraft mechanic.
Okay.
Because I love hands-on shit. I love fixing cars. I like doing all this shit. It's like a natural hobby for me.
So prom prince,
Prom prince.
and then you started embodying this Princey. Like, where's the next point where you're like, oh, let me try doing some shit?
Yeah, so it started when I started growing out my hair, so I had a ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards I wanted to get braids, you know, like back then it was like 2007. That's when
Okay.
when the braids were like hot. And that's when I felt like my confidence started growing because I was always short as fuck. I was always like being made fun of.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just didn't feel good about myself. So then once I started growing out my hair, I started, you know, I had this low confidence. I started promoting for team clubs.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when like that Princey vibe started coming in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you did that. You went to college.
Went to college.
You did the typical role through corporate America, and then at some juncture you were like, "Fuck this."
Yeah, because no, I got laid off from. It was crazy because I was getting paid like so good amount of money for my first job after college, which is the tech consulting company.
Yeah.
And it wasn't making me happy. I just hated going to the office from like 7 to 7, and then having like MDs saying like you got to do this, do these, like look at fucking Excel. I don't know. I just didn't click with it.
Okay.
And before I thought I made it, I'm like, damn, I'm getting paid over 100 G's
Mm-hmm.
a year. That shit, I'm fucking set, you know?
Right.
And then afterwards, when I go to the office and I work on these projects for different banks, it's like, yo, it wasn't fulfilling for me.
So how did your parents take that?
Of me, what?
Of you like leaving corporate America?
Oh, when I got laid off, I didn't tell them after 6 months because I was so embarrassed, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't tell no one after 6 months. And then afterwards, when I started my job at MTV,
Mm-hmm.
that's when I told them. But then they were okay with it. But me leaving that job, they still freak out to this day because it's like, because they're first generation. They come
Right.
from
Yeah.
country. They're like, oh, it's all about like getting a job, you know? And it's like, oh, what about your pension? What about your medical insurance? What about, you know, all that 401k shit? It's like, you don't have that anymore because like now I'm like a freelancer.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I'm going to make something, you know?
So how long have you now been putting out these? I find like a hard word to put genreize. Yeah, how long have you been putting out this content that's a little risque?
Okay, so I started in high school. I always with my dad's VHS camera when I was 15.
Nice.
And then after, and I was uploading on MySpace consistently.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, I stopped after one person told me corny OD. And then that ruined like my whole self-esteem.
Really?
Yeah, and this is when I was like 17. This is when I was 19.
Okay.
And then afterwards, I stopped, went to school, did the whole school.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, it goes back after I got laid off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so September 2017.
Okay.
That's when I was starting to find myself again. I was like, if a company could, lay me off, I need to build a brand that's forever.
Right. I agree totally. So where do you find like your inspiration for these videos?
This is like everyday personal experience. Like, when I'm going to the train, like going from the train to work or going to commuting to school as a New York City commuter, you just see all this shit. Like all these fights in the train, weird people doing like shaving shit. But I like to just like make it more dramatic and intensify it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what has been like the shocking part to, walking away from what like your parents would look as the typical pathway to the direction that you're going on now?
It feels fulfilling. It's like when you eat a good meal, like you feel good, but when you eat a shitty meal, you just feel like horrible. So, every day is a hustle. I enjoy the process, the struggle, the ups and downs. Like I'm starting to now enjoy the process. Because now things are flowing.
Right.
And it feels good, even though I'm not making that much money, like as if I was before. It's just like I know it's gonna happen. It's just like all the hard work.
So 2017, you start making video content again.
Yeah.
So was 2017 different from a content standpoint than like what you were making previously, or it was all in a very similar vein?
Before it was more for fun, like oh hey, let me just be that one guy that makes the content. And in September 2017 was like holy shit, like I see. There's a social media age. Now I can really take this shit. I was taking it more serious in 2017.
So we were watching earlier the video of you now shaving on the subway, right? So I know you said a lot of it comes from like the shit that you watch, and then you take your own angle on it and make it a little more extreme, let's call it, right? Yeah. Do you ever worry that you're like gonna get arrested or somebody's gonna like swing on you or be like, what the fuck?
I mean, someone already choked me out on one video, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I can send you the video. Yeah, someone, if you want to like play it over there, like some guy like choked me out.
So tell us that story.
All right, so it was on Valentine's Day. I was with one of my homegirls. Her name is Danny Deuces. Shout out to Danny Deuces. And we did this first scene where like I smacked her ass in the train.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a West Indian girl. I think I've seen this on the
black chick.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I smacked her ass on the train, and then afterward, before that, we did the video, and people were just saying like, "Yo, what the fuck are you doing?" They didn't like strangle me, so I'm like, you know what, we gotta take it up the next notch, and let me abuse you or some shit. So then afterwards, she starts hitting me, and then as soon as I like start like about to hit her, some guy comes and just chokes the shit out of me, and I couldn't breathe. Like it was like my whole like throat was like cut. Like,
okay.
So then after we had to stop it. And I never posted that video.
Okay.
Well, I did post it, and then Dre goes like, Z, what are you doing, man? You gotta take that shit off. And I just took that shit off. And then I reposted the ass smack video, which I was scared about. And then the news picked it up, NBC picked it up, and then people thought it was funny, but I didn't think it was that funny because it's sexual harassment.
Right. But you're doing this to highlight the point of what goes on.
Yeah, what goes on, yeah.
Yeah. So NBC picks it up. Talk a little bit about that. Like what that's like when you get mainstream media following your shit.
No, it was crazy because I like this controversial shit. I like to like bring a shock factor to the audience and people. And I don't know. I just like doing that. I don't know. It just feels good. So it's just interesting to see how like my ratchet shit can get on the news and that anything is possible. Like so, just do whatever the fuck you want, and then shit's gonna go your way. That's the whole idea. Like do whatever the hell you want. And just really be true, really passionate of what you're doing, and then things will pick up on it. And I was just surprised. It's like, I'm like, I didn't want to seem like I'm promoting sexual harassment, but it was just crazy how they picked it up. They fucked with it.
So when you because you've done a couple of things on like risque shit in the subway.
Yeah.
Right. Like, do you have like a team around you? So like, if something goes south, people are like, yo, we're filming this, or is it like? When you're in the corner getting yoked up, are you like, fuck, I didn't think about this? Like, now.
Yeah, I mean, before it was just me and the camera guy. Okay. And that's it.
Yeah,
and afterwards, like, when I got yoked up, it's just, like, I'll probably bring, like, one more other person. Okay. If I know I'm going to do that kind of stuff, I'll probably bring another person, because I did not expect any of that. Okay. And there was, like, 3 times that happened, like, when, like, the crowd, the involvement, they start coming up, and like, yo, what the fuck you doing? So... Now I know which type of skit that I'm gonna do. Now I know like, oh shit, this is what's gonna happen. Yeah.
So, all right, we got a couple questions from the net, from people that follow you. So, Chef Josh wants to know, what do you think about possibly annoying or disturbing others?
What I think?
Yeah. Do you even care?
Like, I don't want to be, I don't want to sound rude and shit, but
Uh-huh.
like, I'm just trying to make some good fucking content
Mhm.
for the fans and everyone else,
Mhm.
and I do not give a shit, bro. Like, I'm just trying to hustle and I'm just trying to do me, man.
Mhm.
So,
That's,
I just stay away from kids.
okay.
If I'm like at a park or if I'm like naked, I stay away from fucking kids.
Yeah.
I don't want to be charged with no fucking kid harassment or
Right.
anything. So that's the number one thing. Like I stay away from kids. If there's kids there, I do not film.
Mm-hmm.
Or if there's like, you know, I don't know, like, yeah, that's like the number one priority, kids.
Okay. Artem Mashkoff asked, how do you not get frostbite running around in that thong?
Oh, like, once again, it's just like, I gotta hustle, man. Like, I did not give a shit that time. Like, I really wanted to fucking go viral, you know, make good videos. And the cold does not bother me. It's just like when you're in that adrenaline rush.
Right.
It's just like, yo, I gotta do this. So it's just like more mental. It's a more mental thing.
So what, like, obviously that's a very bold move, right? Like, what prompted that? Did you just think that thong on a short guy doing something crazy would go viral? Was that the train of thought? Like, what was it for you?
Oh, no, I evolved from underwears.
Okay.
So in 2009, I had red underwear that said Poppy.
Okay.
And before that, I had cheetah underwears back in 2017.
Okay.
So it kept evolving.
Nice.
And then afterwards, in 2010, I had like some Italian short boxers that had a dick print on it.
Nice.
Of Julius Caesar's dick, you know.
Okay. Yeah.
So it evolved. So that was always my character.
Okay.
But then like one of my best friends named Mario Del Moral, he told me to just wear the gold thong, and it was either supposed to be like a light pink thong or the gold thong.
Okay.
And we just chose the gold.
Nice.
Is that real estate world shit small? Everyone likes each other.
So, the majority of real estate agents that get into the business don't last 2 years. So, like when you get your license, it's good. At least in New York, it's good for 2 years, right? So, like 80% of people that get a license don't renew it because everybody thinks it's easy, and this isn't rocket science, but it's like running a business. Like it's like running a liquor store or a bodega or a supermarket. Like you don't just not show up. Like you have to be there. You have to take care of your clients, and people don't understand that. So there's a ton of turnover. So when you get to a point that you've been in the industry for years, there's only but so many people that have been there, you know, that have been successful. So the top is very small. Masha the Brova wants to know, when are you going to shoot that video that you guys spoke about?
Yo, Masha, I'm always hitting you up. Like, whenever the fuck you ready. Like, you be slacking. You said you want all these, you know, you're helping with your social media and shit. Like, whenever you're ready, yo, come see me. Come see us.
Us. So Dylan actually had a crazy idea that, like, we should go make a video doing something outside. I don't know what that even looks like. My first thought was like, yo, you're fucking crazy. Like, I don't know. But that's him. And he wanted to... You had a question. What was your question?
Yeah.
You asked him.
I did?
It was about if he was ever got like arrested or something.
Oh, yes. He wanted to know if you ever got arrested for your content.
No, thank God.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, but
that might be good content, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be good content. But
Yeah,
whatever I do. Like, all the NYPD, they share my videos among themselves.
Yeah.
Especially when the fight time was going, when I was doing the fighting skits, they have like a little WhatsApp groups and they share.
Really?
Yeah, MTA workers and NYPD. They have little WhatsApp groups and they just share the shit.
So has there been anything that you're like, all right, this is a little too crazy, I can't do this?
Yeah, at first, when I got thrown in the fountain, I don't know if you've seen that one.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, I thought at first, like, Daniel thought it was a crazy idea, but I'm like, yo, we gotta do it. And then when I did, I'm like, damn, this is pretty crazy. But then I was like, you know what? We gotta do some more.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just started making it even fucking crazier. Because that's what the fans wanted to see. That's what I felt like good. It was good to produce that. Yeah.
Is there anything ever that, like, you think is dope but doesn't make it?
All the time.
And what are you doing with all of that? Are you, like, saving it all for, like, a future, like, blooper video?
Yeah, no, I read in the YouTube video, like, in case if you want to have, like, a show in the future, you have to save all the old trash shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, when you have, like, a whole documenting yourself, you just, like, use that content. So I just keep all that shit. All the time, it's like, yo, this shit's ass, let me retake it. Every fucking time. Yeah.
So, couple years now, you're full focus, putting out content. What's the craziest thing that's happened as a byproduct of you being a public figure?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
In this time, since 2017, when you started putting content out, like, what's some shit where you're like, wow, I can't believe that just happened? And not from a reaction to a video, but maybe like a door opening, or a new venture or a new brand that wants to work with you. Like, what's been some shit that you're just like, fuck?
I get it. Well, there's this one where like some lady who was like 45 started to cry when she saw me. I was like, what? I'm not even that famous. But she was just so happy to see me. It was like, oh my gosh, I love you guys. I watch you guys. You guys make my day. And it was just, I don't know. I just didn't know how to deal with them. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
So that's one thing as I remember. And I feel like, I don't know. I haven't, I'm so used to the process now. Like doors starting to open. So I'm like, cool. Oh, when I was like on the first show of like Black Ink, like it's on BET, I was like, oh shit. But then I'm over that. I'm like, what's next?
Right.
But I don't know. So far things have been like really marinated.
Mm-hmm.
Not marinated, but I'm enjoying the process. So
right.
like, I feel like things are like, oh shit, it's meant to happen.
So now I see you at like movie openings and so on. Like, how do you get into that world? Like, how does those doors open for somebody that's aspiring to be where you are now?
Oh, it's just like meeting good people, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people add me as their +1, and then they connect me with the people who run that red carpet opening, and then they put me on. So it's all about who you surround yourself with and who's willing to like really invest back in you. You know.
So how do you find the right people to connect with? Like, what does that look like for you?
Oh, so I just meet everyone. You know, just meet everyone, and then afterwards you just feel out the vibe. You know, like you can just tell. Like after a while, you can just tell like who's really fucking with you and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just through time you have to like really polish the relationships, the people you apply filters to everyone you know you meet, and then you just start trimming it down to see who's really fucking with you or not. So yeah, it's just like you don't wake up one day and be like, alright, this is my guy right here. It's just like, you know, it's like a relationship, like you said. It takes time, you know. You got to build the trust. It's like networking. So yeah, it's just like relationship building, man.
So tell us a little bit about, you seem like you have a lot of ideas. Tell us about like something that's in like the back of your head that you don't plan on doing anytime soon, but like you definitely want to do at some point in the future.
Yeah, that's a good fucking question. I mean, there's a bunch of YouTube videos I want to do, you know, where I just, like, you know, Anthony Bourdain style. I mean, it's nothing that crazy, but, you know, like, going to, like, different, like, poor parts of the country, or just trying the culture and just living not in, like, the richest neighborhoods, but, like, in the shitty neighborhoods. And just, I don't know, like, do, like, Anthony Bourdain style. I kind of like that kind of shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where do you see your brand going? Like, where do you envision your next 3 years?
Like, I want to have my own show eventually. But
like on network TV?
On network TV.
Why?
Or maybe on YouTube. Whatever is, like, more where I can just be myself fully.
Okay.
You know Eric Andre?
No.
Eric Andre, he's like, he does similar shit. Like, I do similar shit to him. And then, like, I really found who he was. I'm like, oh shit. So he has his own show in Adult Swim. Okay. And, like, his shows is so crazy, where he brings random celebrities, and then he has, like, one guy would, like, come out with his dick out. Okay. It's just, like, no filter. So I want to have a show that has no filter. So any network that's going to have no filter, I guess, you know, it's going to be great for both of us, because that's our style. Right. Yeah. Or whatever I feel good. You know, so far YouTube, because I can make whatever the fuck I want. Right. Cool. But, yeah. And then the thing is that you can plan for what you want, you know, like, what's your end goal, but it's just, like, shit changes, shit shifts.
So listen, I mean, we're at a time where everybody's very focused on, like, growing followers, right? Yeah. And you have 200,000 plus. Yeah. I don't know the exact number. Nothing. Right? So, but that's significant. Like, if you look at, like, the percentage of people on Instagram, those that are 6 figures are such a small percentage of the whole user group. What are some things other than, like, just your content? Have you done anything else in order to help grow your following?
Oh yeah, so so first of all, making good content. You have to make good fucking content, and because the idea is for people to share. How can they share? Like share. Like what is the piece of information that they're taking in that's like, you know what? Oh shit, you gotta check this out. I learned something from this, or this is entertaining. Let me share it. So big meme pages like reposted my videos and shit. So that grew my following, and collaborating with different people, you know, grew my following. So those are the top two things. Before, when I had like 2,000 followers, I used to follow mad people and unfollow them to grow my shit. So I was doing everything.
Right.
And then afterwards, there's another thing, and I don't give a fuck about saying it. So and then there's other things where you can join group chats.
Yeah.
With other people that has like similar amount of followers, and then whenever you post something, they can just go automatically and like your post. So it can like boost engagement group.
Yeah.
But I don't like do that anymore because supposedly Instagram knows that you're doing that, and yeah. But so far, like big meme pages and collaborating with people is the top two number one.
So let's talk about the big meme pages, and obviously you create very shareable content,
Yeah.
right? But like for a variety of people that are out there putting out content, and maybe it's not meme pages, like talk to me about like going to those pages and being like, hey, I'd love for you to share, and like what that looked like so you could get that additional attention from them.
Oh, I used to do it all the time. I used to bug meme pages. I'm like, yo, can you share my shit? But then afterwards, like when I look back at it, I'm like, damn, my shit was ass. Like, So
just DMing them with like a link to the video or forwarding the video, can you share my stuff on your page?
yeah, but then like when it goes back to it, I'm like, damn, like it should be a little bit more genuine or some shit.
Okay.
You know?
So what does it look? What did it look like version 2?
Version 2, it's like, yo, what's up? I like, you know, you can hit them up. Like if you really fuck with their page, like, hey, what's up? I really like your meme pages. Heart, give them a follow, and then afterwards, you know, like their shit, and then afterwards, like, hey, you know, what's up? You know, can you post one of my videos or something? Like, is there a way we can like collaborate or work? There has to be a mutual benefit for both parties.
Right.
If there's no mutual benefit, don't even fuck with that shit.
Right.
So if both parties see a mutual benefit, like, cool. So I guess always offering like, hey, how can I help you? Like, what are some ways I can like make your shit grow, or how can I make you money? That's it. Yeah, I feel like that should work for me all the time. When the other party knows that there's a mutual benefit going, it's gonna work.
So the second part is you talk about collaborating, right?
Yeah.
And obviously you're in like a very risque category. Like, do you just look to collaborate with others in there, or do you like look for somebody that's totally on the other side or somewhere in the middle? Like, what do you look for when you're finding somebody to collaborate with?
If they're good people, man. Like if they work hard, and because before I used to collaborate with people and then they wouldn't really appreciate like how viral my fucking video goes. And like especially all these fucking girls, they get all these fucking followers, and then they don't even like know who the fuck I am anymore. It's just so crazy. So then and then there's other people too that's just not fucking genuine. And it's just if you come up to me genuine and then I see you work hard and you really want it, and if there's like a good connection, then cool, I'm gonna fuck with you.
So your content you put out, how much goes into like pre-planning to then actually execution to then distribution?
Oh, so I gotta buy the shit, and then like I feel like mentally preparing.
So what does that look like? Talk to me about your process before we see the internet, the video on Instagram, YouTube, wherever. Like, talk to me about what that looks like internally for you from a process standpoint.
Okay, so this is so each fight video or something, like, you know, before, like, for example, like me and Daniel, when we had to do a fight video like on the train, we had to like really mentally prepare what we're gonna say, what we're gonna do. I say this, you say this, and then also make sure that we don't hurt anyone in the train station because it's super packed.
Right.
So we don't bump into anybody or we don't fight anyone. It's like we're fighting within ourselves, and we just take that among ourselves. So it's just, I feel like, mentally preparing and like avoiding from hitting anyone, and then afterwards getting out of the fucking subway before we get arrested or the cops get called on us. So we got to make sure we, you know, plan what we're gonna do, and then afterwards mentally prepare it, execute it, and then afterwards get the fuck out, and then just separate our ways, and then meet at one point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then so the video is done, right? And then you're obviously someone's editing the video. Do you have any specifics or any tricks or anything you do around distribution of it, other than sharing with meme pages and doing that? Like, is there anything else that you do in that process?
So I post at 11:30 a.m. I like, so you choose your own time and you stay with that time. And so I like to post at 11:30 a.m. And I just
Where did that? Is there some significance between?
I
that
mean,
one?
it's because Daniel started posting at 11, so I'm like,
Uh-huh.
you know what, let me just post right after this motherfucker.
Okay.
Because we both had the same video.
Right,
So,
right.
so then that's how I got my 11:30.
Okay.
But everyone's different. Like one of my friends named CeeLo has at 3 p.m. One of my other friends has at 8 p.m. And I used to do 9 p.m. before when I started. But so it's just like finding that little, whatever feels good, good.
Okay.
So it took me like a year or a year and a half. It's like, fuck, when should I start posting? So
you posted 11:30.
11:30 a.m. Usually
Okay.
11:30, 11:30. I hate posting in the afternoon time.
Okay. And then what happens? Like, post goes up. You're seeing thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of views. Are you watching it consistently, or do you look back at certain intervals to be like, oh shit, this is doing better in the first 8 hours than it typically does? Like, what do you use as your metrics to see how well they're actually doing?
Well, I mean, sometimes I just post it because you don't know what's gonna go, what's not gonna go, and then sometimes I forget about it, or sometimes I look, and then afterwards, like probably Warsaw's gonna pick it up one day or something, or the meme page. So I just trust on now. Someone's gonna pick it up, someone's gonna share it because it's like, you know, it's not bad content. So yeah, I mean, did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, dream collabo.
Dream collabo?
Yeah. Who would you love to collaborate with?
I like Vitaly ZTV.
Okay.
Yeah, Vitaly, you know that guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is so fucking crazy. Like he's seen some of my shit. Like we spoke in DM.
Yeah.
But he's busy as fuck. But he is the way I just love how he streaks in fucking all these stadiums. Like he has the biggest balls ever in the world. Like I fuck with Vitaly. Yeah, he's really crazy.
That's cool. That's cool. So anything you want to share before we wrap?
I don't know. I just say, you know, just follow. Like really, when people say follow your dreams and passions, before I was like, that's not, what the fuck is that? But now that I have some value between those words, it's really true. Like really follow your dreams and passions, and listen to what you want to do. Not your parents, not your friends. Like trust your gut. Trust your gut. If it's not right, then don't do it. But like at the end of the day, trust your gut and just live your life. Like really live your life and just not care what people think. Because when you're on your deathbed, you're not gonna be like, oh fuck, I wish I never stressed this. Like you don't want to be thinking like, oh, I wish I did this. I wish I never stressed this. So just really live and before you die, because everyone's gonna die. We're in this world for a short period of time. Man.
I couldn't agree with that sentiment more. Well, listen, I thank you so much for coming through and having this conversation. It's been absolutely dope. Thanks for guys watching another episode.
Follow Mike.
Follow Princey.